12 o'clock. I'm sure more people will trickle in as we get started, but welcome everyone. I'm Amber Rowden, the community storyteller at Rainforest, Alberta. And if you are new to Lunch Without Lunch, please share a reaction on the screen, introduce yourself in the chat. We love to get to know everyone. And I'm going to share my screen and share an introduction. Okay, so you can follow along with us on social media at Rainforest AB and Rainforest YEG. We're going to start with a land acknowledgement. So this is from the Calgary International Film Festival and the Rosa Foundation.
Growing up, my grandma always told me that the land took care of us, and it still is taking care of us, and it never asks for anything back.
It is a way of life to always honor the environment. It's not something that you just can turn on and off. It's a living daily lifestyle.
And that acknowledgement is a way to acknowledge that we're coexisting in this land with the native people, and we should acknowledge that this is actually their traditional territory. But at the same time, we are all guests to this land.
The land plays a big factor in who we are. That's what makes us strong. That's what makes us strong people.
Growing up, my grandma always...
So if you're coming from anywhere else in the province, in Canada, in the world, please feel free to share a land acknowledgement in the chat. And last week we had Brent share a land acknowledgement with the group. And if you would love to share, we'd love to have you share a land acknowledgement at the beginning of Lunch Without Lunch. So if you're interested in doing that, please let me know. You can email me or send a message in the chat. We'd love to have you share your own land acknowledgement at the beginning of Lunch Without Lunch. So what is Rainforest Alberta? Well, we have an awesome video here to share and let you know what Rainforest Alberta is.
What does it take to realize an idea or for a seed to sprout? At Rainforest Alberta, we know the answer is rooted in trust. Traditionally, Albertans have cultivated their ideas in established systems. Inputs that don't fit these systems are weeded out. Opportunities for growth are missed. But now, Albertans want a dynamic landscape that can evolve organically, like a rainforest. At Rainforest Alberta, we believe a culture of trust is the fertile soil where ideas grow. Our budding innovation ecosystem is a network of relationships pulling each other up as they push forward in their own field. Trust breaks down barriers. An open, inclusive network increases collaborative innovation. Successful breakthroughs inspire new ideas. A cycle begins. Rainforest Alberta is a movement to amplify trust by cultivating honesty, inclusion, and accountability. How? Our social contract holds us accountable to demonstrate trust across the province. We meet to have honest conversations around collaboration. This leads to more inclusive spaces for everyone to fearlessly build new ideas together. By raising the standard of trust, Alberta's ideas, talent, and resources can be evergreen. Visit rainforestab.ca to sign the social contract and start growing together.
So we use 6 pillars to guide our conversations and actions, and not all are weighted equally. In any ecosystem, the right balance is crucial, and we measure these each year through our scorecard assessment. So culture is weighted 30%, and that's the one that we measure the most in Rainforest. Then leaders are 20%, resources are 15%, engaged activities like Lunch Without Lunch is weighted 10%, policy and infrastructure is 15%, and role models are weighted at 10%. So tips to making the most out of Lunch Without Lunch: introduce yourself in the chat, share your LinkedIn, share who you are, share what you're working on, what you're looking for, what you can offer. We want to get to know each other and build that trust. Connect with each other through direct messaging. Put your camera on as we're working remotely and virtually. It's always great to see everyone's faces and to connect that way and put a name to the face. Ask questions in the chat. Keep connecting on Rainforest Slack workspace. Once you sign the social contract, you'll have access to the Slack workspace. And if there's any troubles with that, please let me know and I can connect you with that. Check out hashtag lunch notes for a capture of today's chat. And our recordings are posted on YouTube. So if you missed a session or you want to check out another session, please check out our YouTube. And each week we highlight a value from our social contract. Our social contract are 10 values that we work, live, and play by, and what rainforest culture is really rooted in. So today is a good segue for trust. We're all about building trust. And so I will give trust to others before expecting to receive trust in return. So if you scan that QR code, it'll send you right to the social contract. And I'll also throw that link into the chat as well. And that's a good segue into today's activities. And I'm also going to mention Bridget Legault is here as well. She's the community manager at Rainforest Alberta.
I'll also just mention that's the blockchain symposium and like countless pitches happening this week through various programs in the city. So smaller group today than normal, but that is to be expected. There's a lot happening.
Awesome. Thank you. So today we're really excited and really lucky to have Greg Hart from InceptionU here to facilitate an activity. And Greg Hart is one of the OG rainforesters back with the founding members. He was part of the whole rainforest collaboration. So I'm going to stop talking and let Greg take it over. Welcome, Greg.
Thanks, Amber, and it's great to be here. And we're going to try an experiment today. We're going to run something online. We've got a super cool activity for the next time that we're together in person, but we're going to try and run something online today. It's interesting, just seeing that reinforcement of the notion of trust and a reminder to me that, back in the days when we were first starting Rainforest, that anytime I had a chance to say so, I would sort of share this message, which I'll share again right now since I have the chance, which is that when you're thinking about something from the perspective of an ecosystem, it means that everybody needs to make sure that the ecosystem is healthy. Like that's job number one. And I know we all come with our own pressures of the things that we want to achieve and things we want to sell and everything else. But there's sort of a trust that's built into this notion of an ecosystem that we give to the ecosystem to make sure it's healthy, and trust that by participating in that the ecosystem then gives back, to us. But it's a very different way of thinking about the world than a lot of us do on a day-to-day basis. So this requires something which we would like to call provisional acceptance, which is if you want to put it into a slogan, it's like everything's a good idea until it's not. And it's a way of thinking about the world and other people's ideas that instead of us having our default reaction, which is when somebody shows us an idea, we judge it immediately to decide, is that fit for me or does that not fit for me? And then you either accept or reject it right on the face. Well, to be really great at innovation and to be really great at trust, then we need to be in a situation where we can look at other people's declarations, their ideas, and provisionally accept those ideas so that we can live inside that idea to understand it more completely and to see things that we can't see from our own ideas. And so the activity I'm going to try to run today, we're going to try and run using Mural. So I have a link for it that we'll put in the chat. And there's probably more people, 37 people. I think we're okay. I think I made 40 spots on the Mural chart. So, so the way this is going to work, it's pretty simple. So you're going to see when I open up the Mural, you're going to see that there is, well, actually, I'll just share my screen and I'll show it to you. Just hang on one second. So what you're going to see when you look at this Mural chart is a whole bunch of empty stickies. And basically what's going to happen is on the top row, you're going to put your name, and then directly below your name, you're going to put down the idea that you think is so important and so vital that everybody else in the world knows about because you know it to be true and so powerful. This is your opportunity to share it with 36 other people and to get them on board. So when I open up the Mural to you, you're going to go in, find a sticky, put your name, and then below that, share that one groundbreaking idea that everybody in the world needs to know is true because it's going to help save their life and turn them into a different kind of person. And then once you've done that, all these green stickies are the questions that other people can ask about your idea, but from the perspective of them thinking it is the best idea that they've ever seen in their entire lives. So the questions you ask can't be, where the hell did you get that idea? It has to be something like, you know, you look at it and you're trying to expand the idea basically by asking questions about it that will drive an interesting conversation. So that's your task. Task 1, your name. Task 2, your idea. And then task 3 is to look at other people's ideas like they were the best things you've ever seen in your life and ask questions about those ideas. And yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. So pretty clear?
Fun.
Yay. So I'm going to put
I'm
the
not
link.
going to print.
I'm going to put the link in the chat.
Greg, Jess is asking, does it have to be their own idea? Does it have
No,
to be
not at
mine?
all. It's just something that it's just something that they know that to be true. That's so powerful that everybody else in the world needs to know this and understand it to improve their lives and just be all around happier humans.
Okay.
If it is your idea, cool, but you're good to go. All right, so the link's in there. Just join as a guest and then or a visitor, and let's see what happens. I suppose with your name, you could also put where you're from so people know that too. So if you want to put an affiliation in there, you can. I love these kinds of things, like adding cornstarch to your batter will make your fried chicken crispy. So this is also an opportunity for you to practice asking questions about things rather than necessarily making judgments about things or giving answers to things.
I think everybody wants really good fried chicken. That's what it seems.
I cannot say that I blame them. There could be some secret key to the universe in good fried chicken. I think it's entirely possible. So just when you're thinking you're running out of questions to ask is the point for you to double down and keep asking questions. Because this happens in every situation where we kind of like get the superficial stuff out there and it's like, okay, that's it, I'm done. And then there's this little pause and then you're able to pull some other things out of your brain. I like this combination of foam rolling and SMR. That's really good. I'm imagining somebody actually using the foam roller on their tight quad while having the microphone really close so that it picks up the noise of that. All right, give you just a couple more minutes to add some stuff, especially if you notice ones that aren't getting a lot of questions. That means maybe they're just harder to come up with questions, which is take it as a challenge. Since I saw gamification was mentioned here, if it was a game, we would weight the questions for the ones that are getting less questions with more prizes so that you would pay more attention to them.
Mhm.
What a progressive bunch of people. Integrating daily physical activity. Cities should be planned around people, not cars. Okay, so pretty interesting that you can get a group of people together and you can get them to put something out there that is their, one of their ideas, share it with a bunch of people that they may or may not know. And then it's interesting to do this when it's organized around the idea that everybody's going to think it's the best idea ever. It will change the way that people share ideas when they know that the inquiry that's going to come after is sort of appreciative or something that is going to try and expand it. And you can see there's a lot of richness here in the questions that are coming up that could run conversations for days. And I mean, obviously we don't have days, but I'm interested that if there are people who'd be willing to share and just pick out something that, as they were going through this, is there one particular question that you saw that stuck out at you? Is there one particular suggestion of one of the most important things in life that stuck out for you, and why? And maybe we start a little conversation on that. So anybody who wants to do that, go for it.
I was reading, Greg. Can you repeat that? Sorry, I was really enthralled there. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, no problem. So just saying, if there is something, now that you've seen all the questions, well, you probably haven't seen all the questions, but now that you've seen some of the questions and the different ideas that people have shared, is there one that sort of stands out for you as something that, is particularly provocative that you want to talk about and see if we build a conversation around that?
I like the financial literacy should be taught in school.
Where's that one?
That's Marty's, this one right here. So yeah, interesting. And so I like the question that shows up right underneath that one, which is what would be the top 3 things to teach? Like, this is an interesting way of, when you say something like financial literacy, people go, oh yeah, I know what that means. But then when you start thinking about it, it's like, well, how would you how would you do that? And when do you start? Like, is that in kindergarten? Is that in grade 9? Is it, whatever else? Anybody have an idea of what the top 3 things that you would teach if you were going to teach financial literacy? Like the most foundational things that would just have to be part of it?
I think from my kids' point of view, the value of money, like what is money? What does it do? Because otherwise, basically everything comes from Santa. So, whatever you want, just ask Santa. If it breaks, ask Santa for a new one.
So what I'm hearing here is the key is to disabuse your kids of the notion that Santa exists at the earliest possible moment.
Oh, that's a good one. It's another.
They figure it out early, then they hide the fact that they figured it out.
Oh,
you're right.
I got a little story. So I have a friend, he's dead now, but him and his family escaped out of Russia in 74, I guess, when Russia was really bad, or Soviet Union, I guess. And his kids have been taught in residential type schools to be good Soviets. So the first thing he did when he came here, he set up a job list on the fridge and they got to bid on it. So I'll do the dishes for 50 cents sort of thing. No, I'll do it for 35. And that worked for about 2 months. And then all of a sudden he saw the prices going up like that. And he was so proud because what had happened was the kids had figured out how to make a union. Oh, he was so proud of them, I'll tell you.
That's a good story. I think that, the comment about one of the things that need to be in those top 3 things is what money is a great observation, because it goes to the point that, and I think this is a real challenge that we encounter all the time in learning and just in life in general. There's a bunch of words that we hear and we recognize them, and then there's a whole bunch of assumptions we have about what they mean. And I would say money is clearly one of those things, but having an understanding of what that concept actually, what the consequences of it are, is something that's so important. And we should be careful in all the stuff that we're doing that we don't use words that people aren't really clear on, what exactly they mean and what the implications are and everything else. And so I thought that was a great notion to make sure that understanding what money is and how it functions is a important thing.
I think does
anybody know how it functions?
That's a real brain squeeze.
That's another question.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic, I think.
The understand thing though too, rather than just the definition, but truly understand, like understanding the advantages and disadvantages of compounding interest, but like to truly understand, like most people really don't know. Like they understand in theory, but they don't really like understand it is the 7th wonder of the world, right? So, or 8th wonder, or whatever it's been described.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on which side of the compound interest you're on.
That's correct.
The wonder of the world or not.
Actually, I just got one more fundamental thing is my parents were always terrified of money. They were terrified of losing it. So they did nothing. They just hogged it. And I think one of the things is that I've learned is money is a tool. And the problem is it's if you're not taught that it can be a tool for you and to make your life better, then you're just afraid of it. It's like, I don't want to run out of money. And that's an interesting one for my kids. That's the one thing I've been trying to teach my kids.
Yeah. I think Alicia has her hand up.
My son, when he was choosing his options, we made him take financial literacy in grade 9. So they are starting to do it. But when you're building your cash flow for your personal cash flow, you obviously get extra money if you work on the weekends. But on the weekends, they play like these cognitive games. So you log hours playing video game like crossword puzzle or something, and all of a sudden you get some more money. But now I'm concerned that he thinks that playing video games gets some more money, which also isn't out of the realm of possibilities this day and age if he wants to like go on Twitch or whatever that is. So it's starting. It's good. I would I think what the basics are is to comment on what was said earlier, is that money is a tool. So these are kind of taking the emotion out of it, but understanding the consequences of building up like assets versus debt personally, and how to use a budget are two like really simple things. But I think also when kids understand how business works, the very basics of how a business works and what margins are, they'll understand their position as either owning a business, the fundamentals of it, but also where they fall in as an employee in that overall business structure. So giving a brief understanding of, these are personal finances, but these are like the business finances, and understanding that from both the aspect of owner but also employee is a really good idea. And they pick it up really quickly and early. If we start earlier, it'd probably be better, in my opinion.
Jess?
I find that on top of understanding what money can do for you, I think that we need to teach children or kids the value of the things that they already own, or the value of their ideas. Because, for instance, data is a big thing. The value of my data is like literally made millionaires, if not billionaires, out of many CEOs out in the actual world. But if I controlled my data and was able to say, okay, once the healthcare system gives me my data, then I can sell my data to actually make a profit. So understanding the value behind what types of things are sellable and what types of things aren't would be really interesting to do financially.
For sure. And I would say, and then the other thing I was going to mention, just sort of switching gears, and this is like totally selfish on my part, but Carrie has the everything comes down to relationships as the idea. And we play this game, just played it with the current cohort at Inception about what is the most foundational concept in the entire universe. And that's the answer. So I like that Carrie put that answer in there, because nothing makes sense if you don't, like, even the most fundamental particles in the universe don't make any sense unless they're considered in relation to other particles and things. So thanks for putting that in there, Carrie. That's awesome.
One of the things the kids develop a philosophy is we have to hurry up and spend the money we've got before it's all gone. My sister's exactly like that.
Where does she think it's going?
Well, when the bank's got $100 in it and you go spend it, it's only got $5 left.
Right.
It was you're going to lose it if you didn't spend it, sort of. She's very much like that, and I'm very much the opposite.
Yeah, with young children, I think it's very important to explain to them, help them understand what money is and the value of it, and how you need to prioritize what you want, and that like, just because you have money doesn't mean you spend it all. So like the importance of saving and prioritizing your needs, like your needs and wants, like the difference between needs and wants, and prioritizing needs over wants, and then making choices with wants. Like you can't buy everything, so what is most important to you to get, and then saving up your money to buy those things. Like so I think really like needs versus wants, and saving and making choices.
Well, that is very true. But unfortunately for kids, you can buy everything, right? They're gonna come and say, "Oh, Daddy, I need this," They don't care about the pricing. Yeah, definitely that becomes the next point, which is responsibility. So basically, I believe you let them have some money and make them understand that you are responsible for whatever you want. So that responsibility comes with definitely they're going to learn over the period of time. They're going to fail. They're going to learn from their own mistakes and stuff like that. But it is more important that you give the wisdom to them to understand how the whole thing works and how they should be actually saving, spending, or whatever they want to do with their money, right? So that's the one of the other things that I think we should be actually teaching to the kids.
Well, there's also a huge difference between capital and labor. That's an important concept with wealth or money.
Yeah.
My friend Niraj had a good idea, I thought. The idea is once the child gets to be 10 or 12 years old, you take out a credit card in their name, but you keep the credit card. And then you allow an allowance of whatever per month that they can spend on this credit card, but they got to have you there because you're holding on to it. That helps with the education, but also it develops a very good credit rating because the credit card always gets paid off at the end of the month. Out of mommy's account, of course, but when the kid finally gets to be 20, they've got 10 years of credit history.
Most of the kids are just angling, watching mom and dad and trying to stay in the good book so that when mom and dad finally kick off, they get a nice check in the inheritance. Which is why there was a book written by there's a Canadian guy, I think years and years ago. It's a pretty obscure book, but it was called Die Broke. And so the idea was that you spend all your money before you're dead, and then nobody's waiting around to get to get it. And if you're going to give the money to your kids, give it to them while you're still alive, so that you can enjoy them enjoying it. So,
Problem is, my two of my kids are richer than I am. So
You did good, Gary.
yeah, well, the truth is we did. I mean, they both put themselves through university. We didn't pay anything other than clothes and gas to come and go. They covered everything.
Nice.
How I never did figure out, but they did.
Yeah, I like Freeman's point. I mean, there is no learning without making mistakes and failing, and it's just about. I mean, of course, this is central to the innovation story. You got to manage that so that you're not having catastrophic failures, but that you're having ones that allow you to become smarter. That's really important. Absolutely vital. So so anyway, Amber, I don't know. I'm sure you got other stuff that you want to do, but it was kind of fun to just see everybody's ideas there, get a little conversation, and there's a million directions that you can go from doing something like this.
Yeah, this was absolutely fun and amazing, and it sparked a lot of conversation, which was fantastic. So thank you, Greg. That was really good.
For the next one, we're in person. I've got an absolute crazy thing that we can do. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to that too.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about the timing of it for next week. For those of you, thanks so much, Greg. We know you probably have to get going too.
Yeah, I'm late for another meeting, but
okay.
I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm looking forward to being here regularly again. So
awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Greg.
Right.
Thanks, InceptionU. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, our friends at InceptionU, they have some learning programs. A lot of software developers that join us every week are coming out of their program. We're just really thankful to have the whole team at InceptionU be such avid rainforesters. To Greg's point, next week is in person, and I know it's not community announcement time, but I really want to stress this. The last Wednesday of every month, we've been doing a hybrid lunch without lunch, so virtual and in person. The in-person attendance has been quite low, and so for us to use the resources needed to do that, it may not make sense forever, but what we'd like to do is have you all join us for most of the day and that of the morning. And that doesn't mean you have to spend all morning with us, but if you're going to be taking online meetings or need to get some work done, or even taking in-person meetings, we encourage you to do that next Wednesday morning at Platform's new Innovation Center. So it's a great way for you to come into the Innovation Center, get to know it a little better, get to see each other and kind of circulate through tables and share crazy ideas and collaborate and get to know each other and build trust. And then we're hoping we'll have Greg and Margot from InceptionU to do something wild and nutty. And we also have Blackline Safety sharing their story. So that last part will happen during the regular lunch without lunch hour. It will still be hybrid, though. We really encourage you to come in person next Wednesday if you can. There will be free coffee, maybe even a treat or two. Amber and I can scrape up some money. Anyway, should we do a little networking?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'll open some rooms. We'll just do small rooms like we've done previously. You probably have time for 2. And at 5:02, we'll come back for community announcements so you can get those queued up. Instead of doing another breakout room, we'll do another little fun activity. A lot of people we dropped there, so their loss, I suppose. Amber actually has to head out, so everybody can say bye to
Bye. Good seeing everyone. I'll see you next week in person, hopefully. Yay.
We'll go through the screen just popcorn style, no commenting on each other's, just let each person unmute one at a time. So just, hop in whenever you can and indicate your name and something you have to offer the community as far as skills, expertise, assets, network, space, could be anything. So you're showing up on my screen. Do you want to start, Alicia?
Offer. Good question. I'm a fractional CFO, so I can help with any of that kind of stuff. I'll have a coffee and chit chat about that anytime. Mental health stuff. I have been getting a lot of that lately. People not sure how to ask for help or where to ask for help or what that process looks like. So I'm good to talk to you about that kind of stuff. That's about it. I think that's all I have to offer.
So much more, but all it's all for today. Maybe I'll call out names so it's a bit easier. Chelsea, do you mind unmuting?
Sure, I'm Chelsea. I'm a full stack web developer that's just recently moved into the field. I was a teacher previously for 4 years and I have a background in statistics as well. I'm mostly here to connect and look at possible future roles that I'm interviewing for right now.
Awesome. Thanks, Chelsea. Dave? Just one or two things real quick.
Dave Wally, I'm an experienced coder. I offer free tech opinions that are worth every penny.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Heiko?
Heiko Peters, been around the rainforest for a long time, so I just have experience and expertise on where you can go, what you can do, startup, entrepreneurial ideas.
Awesome. Thanks, Heiko. Michael?
Michael Hayward. I'm a sales marketing and customer experience person who's mostly worked in larger organizations, most recently the Calgary Airport Authority. And I think, if I can be helpful to anybody, if they've got ideas and they want somebody to help them, kind of work out a strategy for fleshing out the idea, or, how to research it or how to get new inputs on it. That's the kind of thing that I seem to enjoy, having those conversations and poking and prodding and getting people moving.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Freeman?
Yeah, I'm Freeman. I offer some help as any UX consulting work. And also, if you're looking to get a little bit of positivity in your day, I've got a positivity newsletter that I'll drop into the chat here.
That's awesome. We'll go Nishant and then Andrew.
Hi everyone, this is Nishant here. We are into the custom software development and currently offering the free workshops. If anyone who's actually looking to revamp the whole software or want to actually get more advice, we can actually do that for free. This is a limited time offer, so definitely looking forward to see you guys.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew. I'm with Store to Door. So we're a last mile delivery company. I've got 2 years now of finance experience, like finance leadership experience on the Calgary tech scene. So if you ever wanted to know what a safe round of financing was, or a seed round, or a bridge round, or something like that, you could reach out to me. And if you know any companies that are looking to deliver some products locally, let me know.
That's great. Thanks, Andrew. Good to know. Natalie, and then we'll go Paintons.
Hi, my name is Natalie. I actually have a kinesiology background, so I'm actually just pivoting into the tech space and hopefully becoming a front-end developer. So I would be seeking out some advice from potentially Chelsea or any other front-end developers or full-stack developers.
Hi, Peyton Wild. I think the biggest skill I have is sitting quietly and listening to people's wonderful ideas. So if you have any awesome ideas you want to bounce off me, feel free to.
I love that. That's well put. Thanks, Shelly, and then Udoka, and then April.
Hi, I'm Shelly, and I help teams to collaborate and also test their business ideas through workshops. Kind of, what we did today, it's like almost like a little taste of some of one of the tools that I use for this.
Hi everyone, my name is Doka. I'm actually have a governance and compliance and legal background, but I'm actually transitioning into cybersecurity at the moment. I just completed a program with the Toronto Metropolitan University. Sorry, they just changed their name, so I have to think about it. Yeah, so that's where I am right now.
April?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm April. So I am a graduate from State, working on the software development. And the reason why I'm here is I'm finding opportunity to contribute to the communities. If anyone have any NGOs or nonprofits projects, need some coders, and I'm here to contribute. And I also have some marketing backgrounds in like about 5 years while I'm working in the food industry. And that's it.
Awesome. Thanks, April. We'll try to knock the rest off really quickly here. So just 1 or 2 really quick things. And if you have community announcements, you can get them queued up for the chat. So Stephen, Jess, and then Marty.
Stephen Labor, I provide access for you to find government grants to help with your business and also for SHRED grants.
I'm Jess. I would love to talk to people about their ideas and brainstorm with them to see if I can help them make them better.
Hey, I'm Marty Kennett. I'm looking to help people out with hardware development. So anything you've got that needs hardware development. Sorry, I'm trying to think. Proof of concept to full production.
Awesome. We'll go Gary, Mike, and then Keisha.
I'm Gary. I've spent 44 years in the startup community in Calgary, and I'm currently mentoring or coaching hardware-based entities actually in Canada anywhere. So it's free if you're thinking about or doing a hardware project from the business side.
Gary's frozen on my end. Mike, go ahead.
Hi, Mike Webster. I'm a copywriter. I help businesses clarify their value proposition. And I'm just starting a new project that I posted about in the chat, organizing a directory of accelerators and incubators across North America.
Cool. Keisha, and then Melina, and I think that's it.
Hi, my name is Keisha Padefoot. I am a job placement consultant. I help people find work in Edmonton. And I'm also looking to one day go back into the teaching career, where I have 6 years of experience. I might want to connect with Chelsea to find out some more about that if she's interested. Thank you.
Awesome. Melina? last but not least.
Hi, I'm Melina. I'm a management accountant, just pivoting into tech, into data analysis, data science, and I can help people with data analysis, process improvement, business strategy, change management, and the cloud.
Nice combo of skills. Okay, so much here to offer each other. That's fantastic to know what everybody has to offer. As far as community announcements in our last 2 minutes, I will share that we have Zach Novak and I have been hosting a series of events called the Business of Community, and where we interview on a live virtual stage a community manager who's worked for a prominent tech company. We have Nikki, I think her last name's Thibodeau, I'm gonna say it is Thibodeau. She's an ex-Shopify community manager and helped build their community strategy. So join us tomorrow if you're interested. There's a series of events happening for Small Business Week in Calgary. Check out the Chamber's website for a list of those. Tomorrow night, 500 Accelerator Program has a pitch night at Platform Calgary. And what else? Anybody else? We've lost a lot of folks here who like participating.
The Banff Venture Forum is next week.
Great.
So there may or may not be some people going there. So it'd be interesting to get some intel.
Great. Bring it back to us, Marty. Take notes.
Okay.
Fantastic. So we hope to see you all preferably in person next week, but if not, we will be online as well at 12 noon with Black Line Safety. So we'll see you all then. Reach out if you have any questions or need anything, info@rainforestab.ca. Have a good rest of the week, everyone.